Hello, thank you so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing crafts with mudlarking finds. I just wanted to show you what I do with the things when I say, oh yeah, I can mend that and I can use it. I don't just put them in a box, although they are stored in a box till I use them. I actually do mend them and I do use them. So I don't know if you remember, gosh, probably a couple of months ago now, I found this, or I think Mick found this one actually, and it had a big corner out of it there. But you know what, it's a lovely Japanese, I think, design, raised edge design. And it's so lovely. It's a shame that that isn't mended and reused. Just that corner. So all I do is I use clay, and I think with this one it might have been Milliput or it might have been Daz, but either way they both sand down quite nicely. And because it isn't a perfect match, you might as well make it stand out. And I did the gilding on it, so you can see there that that is now either decorative or a usable piece. And also this, which is quite similar actually, with the raised pattern on it. Can you see? A little like trinket box. It had a one leg off and all of that corner off, but it was such a lovely shape and such a lovely design on it that I thought, yeah, I can mend that and we can use it. I haven't coloured the inside, you can just see where the clay is. But yeah, that is now something usable. I can put something in. In fact, there was somebody, in fact my brother's brother-in-law and sister-in-law took a shine to that, so you know what, I might give it to them. They took quite a shine to that. So yeah, that's that one. And this. I actually think this is a talc shaker. People have said hat pins, but in order for me to get these hat pins, and these ones are quite long, sorry, these ones are quite long, and in order for me to get those to stand proud, I've had to stick something in the bottom. I think if it was a hat pin holder it would have been shorter. Anyway, it had a big dink out the side, you probably remember, and then a big massive dink out the bottom. So just used the clay, shaped it as best I could, gave it a bit of a sand and gilded it. Same with that, clay, just made sure I poked the holes through, gilded it, made a feature of it. But although I don't have any talc, but I do have hat pins, so yeah, I've made it into a hat pin holder. A holder for my hat pins. Okay, so that's another. And this cup, where you'd think, hang on, let me just turn it over so we can see the date. Yeah, 1945. I was told it's a wartime cup from the NAFI, which is the like the canteen, like the canteen in an army base, and that sort of cup. It had chips in it, it had cracks in it. It really quite grubby looking, but you know, more or less complete. I stabilised the cracks. Stabilised the cracks with resin. I filled the chips in with clay, and I just put glue on, gilding glue, and gilded all the chips and all the cracks. So it's a stable piece and it holds my pens. It looks like a lot of pens, but let me tell you, these pens will just disappear very, very quickly. I think my house is has foundations of pens and hair bubbles. Right, what else is there? And there was this. This was broken in two pieces, and it also had a crack as well as being broke in the top and bottom. So I glued it together, filled the crack in with resin to stabilise it. There was a big chip, I haven't bothered colouring it. I've just filled it with the clay. And that's a nice little beaker now. Stick my scissors in. So yeah, when I say and not forgetting this jug as well, which I did. So when I say, oh, I can do something with that, I can mend it. I do mend it, and I do use them, or I give them away to somebody. But look at that. If you remember, it had a horn missing. So I made a fresh clay horn on it, and I gave it some chin whiskers, whatever you want to call them, chin doodads. And that is waiting to be used on something. I painted it with, I'll show you the paint I used. Acrylic paint, sand colour. Because it really quite matched. Probably needs a glaze on it. But it really quite matched the colour that it was. But that, I will use that on something. One day, don't want to rush. It's a nice piece. But yeah, so when I say it's a keeper, it's a mender. It really is a keeper. It really is a mender, and I really do use them. Right, well, what we're going to do today is some jewellery or bag charms, or both. I think we'll start with the bag charm. And what you need is some jewellery moulds. Now these resin jewellery moulds you can get from Amazon or eBay. You can get packs and sets, and they're relatively cheap. You can get a set of umpteen of these for less than £20. They're just resin jewellery moulds, okay? They're easy to get. This bigger one here, I actually got this bigger one off Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling some craft stuff, so I got that one off there because I wanted a bigger one for bag charms. And as per usual, I'm using the UV resin. You can use normal resin that takes about 24 hours to cure. I like this one, as you know, because it can go under the lamp for a few minutes and then it's done. And for jewellery, it's only small, so that's ideal for it. Okay, so I've got a few bits and pieces here. I've got some pipe stems, some pottery, some glass, some charms, some glitter. Yeah, that's all you need to get started really. So first of all, I want a round one, so I'm going to choose this big round one here. The same round one I used for the tabletop in the doll's house. Right, so first of all, I'm going to put a layer of the resin on the bottom. Just like to put a nice thin layer so that when I put anything on it, any pottery, it doesn't poke through the resin on the other side. So it gives it a nice flat finish on the front. Okay, so I've given that a bit of a fill with the resin. Let me just make sure, yep, it's all even. And then we'll pop it under the light for 3 minutes. Right, okay, that's done. So let's lay these things on here. And what I want is a mudlarking bag charm. So I'm going to choose a few different things. I want pottery. So I've got this piece of pottery, which I've already gilded the raw edges, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So, and I also want pipe stem, little piece of pipe stem. Might as well stick one of those in. See where everything fits best. And I found a piece of this, I think it's Murano glass. Oh, lovely, just a little shard Murano glass, probably off a light shade maybe, or something like that. But I found that at the, we call it the snowy dump, but the big field. So I'd like a piece of glass on it, because we quite often find bits of glass, don't we? And I think actually, yeah, a frozen charlotte. This is a mould of a frozen charlotte. I don't use my original. I've only ever found one, and I just couldn't part with that. So that's the white resin cast that I did in the mould. I will be doing a mould video to show you how to make your own moulds of the things that you find. Okay, so as you can see, I'll just hold it up to a little bit there. We've got the first layer of resin, and then we've just put on the pieces that we want, facing them face down because we want the front to be underneath. Okay, right, so now we know they fit in. I'm just going to pop them out, remembering where they go, and then I'm going to put the resin in. fact, because it's a big piece, I'm going to undo the lid. I'm going to pour it in. You wouldn't need to do this with the smaller jewellery pieces. Right, so the resin's in there. I'm just going to move it around to go all the way over the base there. As you can see, these moulds already come with the things that leave a hole in it. There's a few bubbles in that, but what I'll do is I'll give it a tap, and then any bubbles that come to the surface, I'll just give a little pop. So there we go, another layer of that on. Give it a tap. What have we got? Tell you what, we'll use, not that one, they're not in there. In fact, I'll use that. I've got a razor blade. You can use a pin. Just pop the bubbles. It wouldn't matter in this, it's a mudlarking piece, so it wouldn't matter if it was a bit bubbly. It would just add to the character. So I really wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. Okay, right now, trying to remember where I put everything before. Just giving a little bit of a wiggle into that. Bit of a wiggle. Glass one. And then the frozen charlotte. Okay, give it a little bit of a tap. Just put a little bit more resin on that corner there. I can just see it's not quite filled it. But it's so simple. This is such a simple method. But yeah, don't put chunks of resin in. Just do it in little layers like that. And then we'll stick that under the light for 3 minutes. Right, I just might need to recap because I think my battery went out on here. So I was doing the last layer and I just put another layer of the resin on as per usual. Just put that on, and then I've got some glitter. I have some shaped glitter here. This is stars. Oops, sorry, stars and butterflies. And I just tapped them. I just got them on the end of here and I just tapped it onto the resin before I put it under the light. Okay, and then I put it under the light, and there we have a bit of glitter on the back. Right, so that's the back of the bag charm. So what we're going to do now is take that bag charm out of there, and I have got this half of a bottle stopper. I can't remember where I found that, probably along one of the rivers, I think. Just half there. And I'm just going to look, I'm going to put it on and see how I feel. But yeah, you just pop it out. Put that to one side. But yeah, that looks really, really nice. Let's see, we can see it there. Okay, we've got the shard of pottery, we've got the frozen charlotte, we've got the Murano glass, and we've got a pipe stem. Yep, and the hole in the top to put the bag charm thing on. The I think I got these off eBay. So it's like a bag charm clasp. It's got a clip there and a circle thing there to attach it onto there. Okay. Right, but what I was thinking, maybe, right, I think it might make it stick out a bit too much actually. No, I can use that on something else. I can think of something else to use that with. Right, okay. So there we go. We've got the bag charm and we just need to attach this to it. Shall we have? Right, first of all, let's attach this. So you just sort of open up that ring there and twist it round, so there you have it. Oops, that one's just come undone, sorry. There you have it. it's on. Sorry, it's on the charm thing. There we go. Sorry, that's a bit better. Okay, right, it looks a bit plain, so I have got like a little tassel thing here. Yeah, I'll put that on just to add a little bit of something to it, because it is going on your bag. So I'll just get one of these rings, these, whatever you call them, I don't know what you call them, findings, split rings. It's just a ring that's open like that, and you just put that through it, like so, and get your... I did have a thing that closed these, the thing that you put on your finger, but I don't know where it's gone. So I'll just use these pliers. Sorry, let me get it up here so you can see it. Oops. Gosh. Slipping away from me. Right, I've just made this look harder than it is. Right, so there we go. I'm just gonna squeeze that together there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just put a blob of resin on that and stick it under the light, just where it joins. And I'm just going to pop that under the light, just on that join. Right, okay, there we have it. We've got a mudlarking bag charm made with the resin, made with the shards and the bits and pieces of pottery and pipe stem. And on the back, we've got a glittery layer there. Okay, I've got another idea of what we can do with one of these moulds and a few bits and pieces, and I thought we could make a fridge magnet. Same sort of idea, except we're gonna, instead of doing that to be the front, we're going to make this the front of the fridge magnet, because then I can just bury that into the resin so it's nice and strong. So I've chosen the half a bottle stopper to go on it. I've chosen a little bit of river worn glass tile. It was white on one side and yellow on the other. Okay, and a little bit of pipe stem. Okay, so these are all the things that I'm going to be putting on this fridge magnet, and this is a magnet. It was a notice board magnet. Let's just get you one to show you. It was a notice board magnet, but it was encased in a plastic case. So I just got my nippers, my tile nippers, and nipped down the side of that, and then the magnet just popped out. So we can stick that on the back. But yep, the same idea as doing the bag charm. What we'll first of all do is we'll just put a layer on the bottom. So we'll put a layer of that resin on the bottom of this mould. Normally that would be the front of the mould, but not this time. We're going to make that the back of the magnet. So let me just move it around. Okay, get any bubbles out. Not that it doesn't matter, Little bubbles in this sort of thing doesn't really matter. Okay, just tap it to level it out, that's all I'm doing. I can see a few bubbles. I might as well just pop them on there. Right, okay, so you know the score. I'm going to stick that underneath the UV light for 3 minutes. Right, okay, let's layer up and see where we want things to go. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a layer of this on first, because we can move it once it's on it, can't we? We can move it all about. Don't forget, you can use the normal resin and do it all in one go. Leave it overnight, 48 hours, however long it takes. Just for these smaller items, this is just my preferred resin, that's all. But yeah, you can use the other resin, obviously. Do it all in one go and not in like 3 layers like I do. Right, a few bubbles, let's pop them bubbles. Okay. Lid on. Bit of a tap, hopefully it evens it all out. Right, and let's start putting these on. Now this is gonna be the front, don't forget. Last time we did it and the front was at the bottom. But this is gonna be the front. So make sure that stopper is nicely in there. And then a piece, I want the white bit with a little bit of the yellow edge showing towards the front, so we'll pop that in. Oops. That way around, the yellow showing. Okay. And then I was thinking with the pipe stem, I've got another piece, I've got a second piece, so I've got 2 pieces there. Thinking, because that's sticking up, I might try and do it so that one piece is in and then the other piece is sticking up out of it to make it a bit more 3D. Okay, just put a little bit more resin on that. Just a little bit, then we'll stick it under the light. Just to help it on this first stick down. Okay, yeah, be quite happy with that as a magnet. So here we go, you know the score, under the light, just for a few minutes. Okay, let's take it out. Alright, that looks quite set. Right, let's put some more on, just fill it with another layer up here. I mean, you can go a bit deeper with this resin, to be fair, but I'd just like to do it in a few layers. It's so quick, isn't it? At 3 minutes. 3 minutes per thing. So just putting the resin into the rest of the mould, and I'll give it a tap to flatten it down. Just wipe a bit of the resin on it, because that'll just make it, because it's quite a dull bottle stopper, so I'm just going to rub the resin onto the bottle stopper, onto the glass, and it'll give it like a little shine. That's it. So let's give it a bit of a tap. I don't think this one requires any glitter really. Nope, I think that'll do. So we'll stick that under for 3 minutes. This will be the last 3 minutes before we take it out, and it will have a hole in the top. So what I will do is I will fill that with resin. I will fill that with resin as well, just to fill that hole in at the top, and then we'll get on to putting the magnet on the back. But really quite simple. Just choose your pieces and set them in the resin. It's as simple as that. You've made a nice little gift, or you've made a nice little thing for yourself, haven't you? Right, okay, that's done now. I'm going to take it out of the mould. And like I said, it does have a hole in the top. You could leave it, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to fill it in. It only takes a little bit of resin just to fill that hole in, but you could leave that hole. You can't see it that much. Right, just going to stick that under the light for 3 minutes, and then we'll get on to putting the magnet on. Right, okay, and there you have it. Let me just move that out of the way. We've got our fridge magnet there with the bottle stopper, the piece of river worn glass, and a bit of pipe stem that was probably also found in the river. So then we've got our magnet. If you remember, it was encased in a plastic thing, and I just broke the plastic off and the magnet popped out. Okay, so just turn it over because you want to place this magnet on the back. So I'm going to be nice and generous with the glue. These pinboard magnets are nice and strong. You get magnets, gosh, Amazon, eBay, anywhere, pound shops. Quite often have the pinboard magnets, flat ones like this, and you just want to, stick it on there. There's plenty of glue. That glue's going to go all the way around it, and it's going to stick on there nicely. Okay, so we've made our fridge magnet there and our bag charm there. And just one little extra thing, I saw these in Sainsbury's after Christmas from the decorations, and they're just little metal decorations, and I think they were down to about £1, so obviously I bought them all. There was probably about 8 of them, and I bought them all because I thought that is definitely something that I can use. And the idea that I've had was to put a frozen Charlotte in the middle of it using the resin. So while we've got the resin out, let's just have one little, you see, you have to look at things in a different way and think, how can I use that? How can I change that? So yeah, it was Christmas decoration. So what I'm thinking is, if I can somehow, I'll use this board to lay it on. I've got this ribbon here, this like vintage looking ribbon, can you see it? And I've cut out one pink section there. Okay, so the idea is to put resin on, stick that on, bit more resin, place that on, and just let's see if we can lift it up. So the plan is sort of to make something a little bit like that. I've not done it before, I've no idea if it'll work, so you can do it with me and we'll see. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't, but we can all learn by the mistakes, can't we? So first of all, let's get some resin on this. Hopefully it should stick in this centre circle. So put plenty on. Let's just go around the edge first to make sure. And I'm just using the upturned mould for jewellery. Because I know it'll just come straight off that. Right, so our first little layer, going all the way to the sides, quite generous. Give it a settle, give it a second to settle. Okay, and then how should we put that on? Right, we'll just place it on. Okay, so we've got that little bit of ribbon. I'm going to place it that way. Not ribbon, whatever it is, embroidery. Just going to place it on. Maybe use scissors just to poke it into the resin so that it sticks. Okay, don't forget I haven't done this before, so I have no idea if this is going to work. Okay, so let's get the light on that. 3 minutes, oops, 3 minutes, let's see how we go. Right, okay, let's pop that down. Let's have a look. Yep, I think so far so good. Right, what we need to do now, oops, I've managed to glue a hair onto it. Right, what we'll do now is a little bit of resin and then try and put her in the middle of it, a little frozen Charlotte in the middle. I wonder if we should do another one on the other side as well. Let's do one side and see how we go. So let's put some resin on top of this now. Put it all over, not just in the middle where I want the frozen Charlotte to go. Let's cover up this ribbon and make sure we go to the edge so that it attaches to that outer ring. Like I say, just look at things a little bit differently. Are these things you can alter and add to? Like ceramic baubles, you could glue little frozen Charlottes onto it or shards onto it. You know, you can change them by just adding bits to them. Okay, right, that's a nice healthy amount of resin on there. And let's stick her on. Do we think she'll... Oh yeah, she sinks nicely into that resin. Yeah, I have no reason to doubt that that will stick at all. Okay, let's just get the light back onto that. Usual thing, another 3 minutes. Right, okay, let's have a look, see if that's worked. It's an idea I had as soon as I saw these decorations. Yep, she's fixed. She's in the centre. Sorry. She's fixed. She's in the centre. And there you have it. Using the UV resin, that little bit of ribbon, embroidered ribbon, and then the frozen Charlotte also stuck on top. And I don't think that you can just have this out for Christmas. I think this is something that you could have hanging from wherever. Oops, hanging from wherever all the time. Right, so there you have it. 3 resin ideas. A little decoration. A bag charm. And a magnet. That looks like a little riverbed, doesn't it? Riverbed of finds. This is just a little extra. I keep telling you I'm going to show you how to mend one of these. Now, I have been calling these sheer tops. But I've just found out now, literally a few minutes ago, off Alex, off Northern Mudlarks, these aren't sheer tops. These are burst tops. The jaggedy ones like this are burst top. In fact, it's on her Instagram, so if you go, but this is weeks in advance, so anyway, that's a burst top. That is a sheer top. So every time I've been saying, oh, I love sheer tops, sheer top this, sheer top that, I'm talking rubbish. It's those I've been finding, but they're not actually sheer top, the burst top. That is a sheer top. Can you see where it's flat? It's just been like sheared off and flattened again on the heat, I think. But yeah, I think Northern Mudlarks have a video up soon, or well, it would be out now. So that explains it in better detail. But yeah, I've got to apologise. I've been calling them sheer tops when they're not the burst tops. So I'm going to be showing you how to mend a burst top so that you can use it like I have. And also, this is why I collect the corks. Can you see? So I can use it in there. So this one's had a mend on it. And I ruined the footage by getting my elbows and stuff in the way and not being in focus. So I'm going to do it again because it's really quite simple, really quite quick. And it just means that you've got an excuse then to pick up the broken bottles because you can say, well, I'm going to mend it. To mend it, I'm going to be using my favourite, which is the Quickset UV epoxy resin that's used for gel nails, used for doing nails. Okay, and I use it for my jewellery as well, don't I? Okay, and then these foil things here that you're supposed to use for your nails. I'm just going to line the inner bit of the neck, of the broken neck. You see how it's broken? Just going to line it in that and put the gel over the top. I'll just do one side at a time so as not to be confusing. Okay, so I've cut a strip of this just so it doesn't stick. What else could you use? Plastic, I suppose, like a laminate sheet or something you could use just so that the resin doesn't stick to it. This is just a nail foil. Okay, right, let me cut some of this so that it can hold it in place because it is a sticker. So you need to put the sticker that way so that it holds it in place like that. You'll see when I put it on. Oh, this is what happens when you haven't got nails. I need my nails doing. Right. Okay, well, tell you what, we'll just do that large bit first, okay? So I'm just going to poke it down, just catching on the glass bit a little bit. Okay, right, I'll just use the scissors to get it in the right shape. So I hope you can see that. I've just lined the neck of that bottle. Like that, look, just lined it there. And I'm going to put my first layer of resin on there. Okay, so get my light ready. And then, sorry, let's just move that back a smidge. I'll try and get you to see this. So I'm just going to put, as you can see, it's all well organised. I'm just going to put the first layer of resin on the glass, on that sticker, just up to the edge of the top of this glass. It doesn't need to be a thick layer because you're building it up. Can you see? This can all be sanded down if you do it too high, and then when you put a glaze on it, it all goes clear again. Okay, so I've done my first layer of the resin. You can see what I'm trying to achieve there. Sorry, see what I'm trying to achieve there. Yeah, I'm going to stick it under the light for a few minutes. Okay, so that's the first layer of that done. So now I'm going to put another layer on. So just let me move that UV light, run out of table. Okay, so you see that's set on there. Okay, I've got another good helping of the resin on that gap there. Okay, doesn't matter if it runs, don't worry about that because you can sand it. You can sand it, it's not a problem. Right, so get it under the light. Just turn it to stop it running quite so fast. You will sand it. But when you sand it, it will get the lines on, so I just put a bit of let me show you a bit of this on. You can use any sort of varnish, I think, but I use this from my other craft room. Just put that on it. Yep, so just pop that under there for a few minutes. Right, let's go for a third. Don't take any time at all, honestly, but it just means that you've got a usable bottle again. And I love these inks. I think these ink bottles are lovely. I really do. But now I know they're not sheer tops. They're burst tops. So it's good, isn't it, when you learn something new. So I'm very grateful to Alex for telling me that. Alex from Northern Mudlarks. Right, okay. Another one. Another layer. Another blast with the light. That first side's had a few layers now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that second side because this one was really quite damaged, really quite broken, so I'm just going to make sure that that is sat, oops, pulled it out. I'm just going to make sure that is sat inside, like so. So they've got something for it to catch on to, and we'll do it exactly the same again. Layer it up, and then I'll come back to you when I take it out, and we'll take it from there. Right, before I go, I just wanted to show you this. I just got some post, and I thought, what the devil is this? Because I haven't ordered anything. So I opened it up, and I thought, I don't remember buying this. I thought, hang on a minute, let me have a look at the advice note. And it was actually a gift. A viewer, Carrie Bayer, bought me this off my wish list on Amazon, which is so kind, and I was so surprised and so shocked. But yeah, it's all I could have done with this, couldn't I, when I was doing the jug. It's all stuff for clay, all tools for clay. There's just every single tool, poker tool. The poker tools actually I use when I'm doing my vinyl. It's good for weeding the vinyl off its backing. But yeah, so loads of poker tools, loads of prodders, saw, you know, little saws, little drills, absolutely loads. I like the rubbers, the rubber tipped things. I'll have to ask Mick what half of these are for, to be fair. But yeah, thank you, Carrie. It is so kind, and it was so unexpected. I just finished work as well. I just sat down, just put my feet up. I thought, oh, I'll have 5 minutes. But then the door went, and yeah, and these like rounding. Let me get one out. They're all wooden handled. Just an example there, look. A little smoothing, rounding tool, poker tools, drills, flattening, scraping, just loads and loads of stuff. I'm so grateful and so thankful and so surprised, because I had no idea it was coming at all. So thank you, Carrie, yet again treating me to something fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Every penny that everybody sends, every gift that everybody gives me, and gives Mick as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, I suppose I better get busy, and I'll make sure that Mick doesn't take too many home with him, because I know he might be after a few of these, because they're really good, and there's so many of them. So yeah, thank you. It should help. I really could have done with it with this. Sorry, you can't see. I really could have done with it when I was doing this, to help me smooth it off and what have you. But yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to press like, don't forget to press that notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And also, if you really enjoyed it and you'd like to support this channel, please don't forget we have the Ko-fi link down below, where you can donate the price of a coffee. Thanks for watching. Bye.